Hey bosses, how are you? It's Kylie here, and today I'm having a chat about your impossible situation. Whoo boy. Now, there was a full moon last week, okay? I talk about full moons and the moons a lot because I feel the intensity of the lunar cycles. But even if you don't follow the full moon, I know a lot of you would have been feeling the feels last week, okay? So let's just say it was a little intense the last week or so. Things have been a little intense. The volume of drama or the feelings has been turned up a little bit. And so that means that we get invited to really look at the situation that we are living, that we have created, the lives we've created, and where we find ourselves, right? The situation that we're in. I'm just going to get that away from my microphone there. Now, impossible situations, we have all had them. You might be in one at the moment, and you might have several going on at one time. I have an impossible situation going on in a number of different areas of my life where it's like I have no control. I cannot change those circumstances. Those circumstances are facts. They are 100% facts. And so what are we going to do with it? Now, for the impossible situations that are very much in our face, that are having a massive impact on our day-to-day life. So, for example, it could be a health diagnosis. It could be a relationship with a parent or with a child. Perhaps you have alcoholic parents. Perhaps your child has an addiction issue. And no matter what you have tried in the past, there's nothing that you can do to change the other person. We have no control over who they are or how they behave. Perhaps your impossible situation is because of the pandemic, and you've been shut down and out of business for months. Maybe your impossible situation might be to do with a relationship that is breaking down, and it's not your choice. So there are always lots of situations where we are facing something that is really not how we had hoped for. It's really not what we had wanted or expected. And certainly we would never have chosen it for ourselves. So in those impossible situations, what do? Do we lose sleep over it? Do we let it rob our happiness? We have to deal with it. We can try and minimize how much we think about it or interact with our parents or the children, or we might have certain boundaries that we have to put in place that make us feel miserable. And yet we still have to live with it. So I wanted to talk with you all about the impossible situations and what you can do to support yourself, what you need to do to keep your sanity, and how you can use these situations to grow, to discover something new about yourself. Because the simple reality, the way I see the world, my worldview is that everything, every challenge, every setback, every disappointment, every failure, every learning has a gift in it. And that's what our souls are interested in. Our higher self is interested in the growth, the learning, and seeing what happens when we're put in a certain environment, and see how we dig deeper, how we respond, how we react. And that is life. That is the the classroom of life, and that is reality, you know. There's no way of playing your cards right all the way through life and never having hardship. It's just, that doesn't exist. It's fantasy land. Everybody has something that will push them, will bring them to their knees at some point, and will help them to grow. We all have some area in our lives that we feel very vulnerable around. So the first step to navigating your way through your impossible situation, the impossible situation where you're just like, I've got nothing I can do about this. The first step is to stop fighting with reality. Stop denying it. Stop arguing with life about this situation. If your parents are alcoholics, you can't argue with life about that. Railing against life and saying it shouldn't be that way. I deserved better parents, and my parents are, you know, they're bad people, and life shouldn't have happened like that. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of your precious life force arguing with life. Your parents are who they are. If your child, you know, comes to your house and steals from you to buy supplies for their addiction, and you have to change the locks because they're not safe. You're not safe when they're in the house, or you know, you have to call the police when they're trying to smash down your door to try and get money out of you so that they can meet their addiction. You can say, this should not be happening. And it is devastating, and it is very, very heartbreaking that you're in the situation, but the situation is the way it is. And so we cannot help ourselves or help the situation by fighting with life. There's no point arguing with a pandemic, as much as, you know, I think Australia's done so well with navigating it, but, you know, Melbourne did have a big shutdown, you know, Sydney, we've all, like most states in Australia have had a taste of lockdown, and the impact that has had on business. And, you know, and Australia was so lucky, but you still might have lost a lot. And arguing with the life about that is just a waste of your precious life force that you could be better directing towards clawing your way out of this situation, finding your next step, climbing out of the hole to a whole new level, and getting back on track to where life wants you, right? This whole pandemic, it's like an eclipse, you know, back to the cosmic world, because the planetary eclipses, sun and moon eclipses, it's like, you know, if you're here and the universe wants you here, there, eclipses are like, it'll just go destroy the situation, pick you up and plonk you there, and that's closer to where you need to be. And you might be thinking, what just happened to my life? You know, life is course correcting you, whether you want to be course corrected or not. Life will course correct you, because when you incarnated on this, you know, in this life, when you were born into this life, there was you had an ambitious soul who decided that they were up to some things, right? Up to some bigger lessons and growth and intentions. So step one is to stop fighting with reality. Whatever your impossible situation is, accept that it is there for a very good reason. And it has gifts. There's gifts. There's gifts that are core to your growth as a human, core to your growth and evolution, core to your mission, core to who you are, what you've been called to do in the world, the qualities that you need to cultivate and develop to be the most amazing version of you. That is the gift of it. Whether it is something you would choose for yourself or not choose for yourself, it doesn't matter. We all have ambitious higher selves or souls that we're like, yeah, I'll probably complain a lot about that, but I'm up for that. I'm up for this mission. I'm up for going through that, because that's going to help me to grow and develop in the ways that I know I need to in order to have a really kick-ass, amazing life. So stop fighting with reality. Step two, is to let go of the stories that you are making this situation mean. Even considering it as an impossible situation, you need to let it go. Having stories that are like, it's not fair. Everybody else gets to have a good life, but not me. There's something wrong with me. There's something, I never get what I want. I always have to go without. It's never works out for me. Other people get it, but I never get it. You know, life is hard for me. I'm never going to get to where I want to go. Those kind of stories. Or another one is like, I'm just not cut out for success. I'm just not cut out for, being happy. I'm just not cut out for being in business. I'm not cut out for having great relationships. I'm not cut out for leadership. I'm not cut out for, being visible or inspiring other people or whatever it might be. That's just a story. And as long as you're telling yourself those stories, you're going to stay stuck and in the trenches, in the mud, in the poop. You're never going to get your head up and above where you can get really good clarity, where you can have a better perspective on your life and everything that you're going through. And all of the amazing things that you already have achieved and accomplished. When you've got those stories, you diminish everything that you've achieved. You diminish the strength and courage that's taken you to get to where you are right now. The tenacity for keeping at it. You know, if you're in business, you are incredibly courageous. You're incredibly strong and determined and driven. You're incredibly ambitious. You're incredibly tenacious and resourceful because you have struck out on a course, on a journey that it's up to you. It's all up to you to take each step. There's no one there helping you to take the next step. It's all coming from within. It's self-generated. And when you have a story that says, I'm a failure, I'm never going to amount to anything, I'm completely delusional if I think I'm going to be able to make it, I should just give up. This is, it's all too hard. I can't do anything about this. I've tried everything I can and there's just nothing left to give and I just can't do it. When you're talking along those lines, it's impossible to stay motivated. It's impossible to feel good about what you're up to, even if what you were seeking, even if what you had was the equivalent of the cure for cancer for your clients. So the equivalent solution that your clients are desperate for, wanting, praying for, and it's so important to them, but yet you are diminishing everything that you've achieved and the value that you offer because you have these stories that are not based on truth, but they are based on hardship. They're based on not being enough, not being worthy. Then you're doing a disservice to yourself and your dreams, and you're letting down the people who are praying for what you have to offer. You're letting down the people whose lives you could change. So step 2 is to stop telling yourself those awful stories. Stop making the impossible situation mean that you're not meant to do what you're doing, taking hardship or challenges or a setback as it's a sign that I'm not meant to do this. No, it's not true. Whenever you're up to something big, whenever you're on a big mission, whenever you're doing something that is actually pretty wonderful, yes, there are times of flow, but there are also times of resistance training. And that's where you build your muscle. That's where you get stronger. And the universe will test you. Life will test you because you have to grow into the strongest form of yourself in order to be able to deliver, in order to be able to perform at the high level that your purpose, your life purpose requires of you. So let go of the negative stories. Let it go. Stop telling yourself that it means that you're not cut out for it. Stop it. Because that's, you would never tolerate anybody else talking to you in that way. Yet you tell yourself the worst possible stories. The step 3 is When you can stop telling yourself those horrible stories, step 3 is to love yourself no matter what. No matter what. To fight for your dreams, to value yourself, to value your dreams, to value the mastery that you have, the services that you offer, the products that you're creating, the beauty, the contribution that you are adding and you're gifting the world through your love and your creativity, that you value that no matter what, that you're committed to your purpose no matter what, and that you are worthy. You know, we need to be building our self-worth. We need to acknowledge and affirm our self-worth every step of the journey, because without doing that, no one else is going to do it. If you don't do it, no one else will. The world is, hard times, challenges, setbacks will tear you down. And if you don't have much self-esteem and if you don't have a healthy self-worth to begin with, you've got nothing in the bank. You've got nothing left to give. So we need to be affirming our value. We need to be looking for and acknowledging our value. Every good thing that we've done, every challenge or setback that we've overcome, every time we were resourceful, every time we were resilient, every time we were tenacious, every time we dusted ourselves off and got back on the journey again to go again, takes enormous grit, and we need to see it, we need to acknowledge it, and we need to celebrate it. We need to build our self-worth and look for the times when we've been strong. Look for the times when we have persevered, when we have had victory, when we've triumphed over darkness. Those are the things that are so important. And when we really surround ourselves with memories and evidence of our ability to get through another day, to take the next step, to create something new, to set a direction for where we are headed, and to take steps towards it. Not just talk about it, not just put it in the navigator and forget about it. No, we need to take steps every single day towards our journey, our destination. And little by little, no matter what your impossible situation is, we're not arguing with it anymore. Whether it be your parents, whether it be your children, whether it be the pandemic, whether it be a health issue, we're not arguing with it anymore. It's just part of your circumstances. It's just part of your life fabric weave, and it's like there are people in the world who have those exact same situations or worse, and they have still thrived. They have still persevered, and they have still been victorious. No matter what your situation, there is a person with no arms and no legs who is like a motivational speaker and is a living example of resilience no matter what. There are people who have been through massive setbacks and who have not allowed that to determine the outcome of their life, the outcome of their life force, the outcome of the energy and the efforts, have not allowed it to shape the stories about what is possible for them. So we do need to honor and value ourselves no matter what. No matter if our parents are alcoholics, no matter if our children are addicts, no matter if our business has gone belly up with a pandemic, no matter if someone has stolen our concept and opened it right next door to us, no matter if we're having a health issue, no matter if we're going through a relationship breakdown, we honor our value. We value our purpose. And we keep moving forward no matter what. Because we are worthy and we deserve to be happy and successful. And nothing can slow us down. When we align with our purpose, nothing can stop us. Our purpose, if we commit to our purpose in life, we ignite, through commitment, we ignite an unstoppable life force in our purpose that will carry us through even when we are fearful, even when we're afraid, even when we don't know. So, impossible situation or not, it is just part of your situation. It's part of your boot camp for growing strength, muscle, resilience, grit, resourcefulness, and you'll get there. You'll get there if you do those three things, if you focus on not fighting reality, accepting reality, and letting go of the stories and making it mean that you're not a good person, making it mean that you're not cut out for it, or that you're somehow deficient, you're somehow not enough. And then, of course, step 3 is to really honor yourself, honor your journey, honor your purpose, honor your value, build your self-worth. Now, this is obviously where I'm very passionate about, and if you'd like help with being able to unlock your potential, your dreams, your future reality, and to step out of the cage of self-defeat, self-doubt, overwhelm, confusion, anxiety, then please reach out to me and we can organize to have a breakthrough session, which is for free. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and we can do that on a Zoom call. And on that call, what I do is I help you to understand what's not working for you in your business, get clarity on where you actually want to go, and what is necessary to join those two dots. So that's what I offer as a breakthrough session. It's a free call, and I offer it through my heartfelt service to you. And if you're interested in that, I'll pop the link below this video, or you can send me a direct message. But I hope that has been helpful. No matter what situation you're finding yourself in, do not let it defeat you, because you're stronger than that. And reality, your impossible situation is not a mountain. It is actually a tiny little thing. But it's only our fears and our doubts and our stories that inflate it to be this impossible thing. And so anything, no matter what it is, can get turned around, and you can call your power back, and you can be far bigger than any problem that you may encounter with the right mindset and the right help. Okay, my darlings, I hope that's been helpful, and I'd love to hear what your distinctions are from talking about that conversation, and please share any insights that you got below this video. I'd love to hear. Okay, big love, bye.